Today I'm going to be showing you how to assemble your Eurowise hitch mounted tire swing out. A few basic tools you'll need to complete the installation: adjustable wrenches, a 3/8 ratchet or 1/2 inch, whichever you have, with a long extension, and a 10mm Allen socket. All right, when you order the swing out, it'll come in two packages, the lower part and then the A-frame. I'm going to show you how to completely assemble one. Very simple, just a couple bolts. But it does require installation in assembling the A-frame just because of the shipping cost. We try to do everything we can to reduce the costs for shipping, so we've had them packaged separately. So the lower portion is what we recommend installing first. It will include some instructions on how to install the anti-rattle. You may see some marks. What we do is we assemble them in-house just to make sure everything functions like it should before you install them. So if you see marks, don't worry, it's not used. We leave this tape on just to keep the anti-rattle all together. It makes installation a lot easier. If you were to take this tape off, it would just wobble all over the place and make installation a pain. So once the lower frame is installed into the hitch, there's two holes. What we do is have a position for the Touareg and a position for the Cayenne. On the Cayenne, that position is actually the further one out, and then the Touareg is one position further in. You can run it in either position if it doesn't contact, but on the Cayenne specifically, we use the furthest in position so that way it doesn't contact the bumper. From that point, you don't install the locking pin yet. You'll actually tighten down the anti-rattle bolt. That's a 10mm bolt. It's a 10.9 grade bolt, so it's really strong. You can tighten that one up to about 75 foot-pounds, so it's nice and tight. In some cases, this prevents the wobbling from up and down position. It doesn't 100% keep the vibration from left to right when off-roading extremely hard. Some people run the additional clamp that we provide. We provide an extra clamp to make it 100% sturdy. I don't run one on my car. Some guys run it on their car. We include it for free. It's completely optional. With the anti-rattle bolt that we put in it now, is very, very stable, but it does have a little bit of movement, and that additional clamp that we provide is optional to use, and it makes it 100% sturdy. So now that you have that bolt installed, we have two options on our website. We have a non-locking and a locking version of the hitch pin. This one, essentially, you put it in and then put in the locking with the circlip. It may take some force to get it to go all the way over completely, but once you get it in, you install your clip. All right, next we're going to be unboxing the A-frame. Typically, we will have expanding foam in the box, so we didn't put it in here for the video, but it will be packaged as best as possible. The A-frame will come assembled as you see it here. We'll usually wrap the handle so it doesn't move around, and then the bolt is actually installed upside down in the box just so that the bolt doesn't protrude to the bottom of the box. So what you'll do is just loosen the bolt, remove the washers, and then we will install that next. Okay, so as you see, I slipped it in through the hole. This locking pin will keep you from completely sliding it in so that it lines up the hole. So as you're putting it on, just make sure you pull up this locking pin. And then the other side, you can basically rest on top of the hitch itself, so that way you're not having to support all the weight. From here, you'll slip the bolt in all the way down, install the washer on, thread that on all the way. After that, take off all your saran wrap, and then you will proceed to install it just like you would be as a final product, and then you go back and tighten the bolt. And just like that, that's the complete installation of the Eurowise hitch swing out. If you have additional accessories, I will show you in this video how those are installed or where they're fixed. If you've ordered the drop-down table accessory with your hitch swing out, it'll come in a box like this. This is the table assembly. It basically comes completely assembled. All you need to do is attach it to the swing out itself. And in order to do that, there are 3 nut certs that we pre-install when you order the table. The installation is very simple. It'll include 3 bolts, and they install in these 3 positions, like here where you can see. If you've ordered the high lift jack adapter, we install the hardware to install the adapter on your swing out already ahead of time, so that way it's ready to install when you receive it. What you'll receive is 2 wing nuts, which you don't see here in this photo, and an anti-rattle handle rattle bushing. It's very simple to install. Once you've got the wing nut off and the bushing off from our installation, you'll install your high lift jack like so, and the wing nut. And then this you can install ahead of time or afterwards. Basically, this bushing gets slid on with this attachment removed, and then it slips onto the handle to keep it from rattling. And then the very last accessory is our Rotor Packs brackets. This is a Eurowise made Rotor Packs fuel brackets. The kit comes with our bracket, 2 Rotor Packs branded actuators, and that's it. If you want fuel cans, you would purchase that separately through our website or from Rotor Packs directly. In order to install this bracket, you attach it to these 2 lower mounting points. You can install it here. However, if you have a table, it is not compatible to run with a table and the fuel bracket, so you can either do one or the other. We include these carriage bolts and M8 serrated nuts. You install the carriage bolts in from the inside out. That way it's held in place, so you don't need 2 tools to tighten it. And then from there you install your nut, and just like that, the Rotor Packs fuel can bracket is installed. There is a few ways you can mount your fuel cans. This is designed to run the interlocking 2-gallon Rotor Packs branded gas cans. It will not work in the interlocking position with any other aftermarket brand, so keep that in mind. Once you install the Rotor Packs branded locking clamps, they will mount to these slots here, and then you can install the fuel cans just like so, and then lock them in place. If you don't want to run 2-gallon fuel tanks, you can actually run separate tanks and actually run them just like this, like so, with different gallon tanks, whether you wanted to run water and fuel, vice versa. And then the very last part is installing the spare tire itself. The first upper bolt is welded in place, so that will stay stationary. The other 2 bolts, we pre-install the nuts, and then we also install these locking washers to keep the bolt from popping out when you're installing the wheel. So you can basically place your wheel onto the spare tire carrier, and then once your wheel is in place, you can install your upper nut, and then reaching in from the back side with a wrench, hold the inside nut, and then tighten with a socket or impact gun the other 2 nuts.